Well, hello everyone and welcome. I hope you're having an awesome day. I have been threatening to play Transport Tycoon on my channel for a little while now, and today that time has come. I finally got round to it. I've had a little bit of time off because I've been took a little short time away with my wife celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary, so you have to excuse me for that. But I'm back and I'm finally getting around to it. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be playing the 100-year One City Challenge, which is a custom map with one city on it, and you've got 100 in-game years to try and grow the one city as large as you can. And I got inspired to do this watching PotatoMcWhiskey and Master Hellish as well. I will put links in the description below to their videos that inspired me to do this. It was an open invitation to come and do the challenge as well, so I fancy taking my chances. I'm definitely not going to do as well as Master Hellish. He is just a master, hence the name, I guess. But yeah, I want to give it a go and see how well I can do. So I'm going to load up the game and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, I am in the game now and I've paused it straight away, which is you want to do, otherwise it's time to start sticking away with you. Right, this is a custom map. I got it from Master Hellish's website as well, which I will also put a link down to in the description below. Right, this is our map. I'm actually going to click on the city here, which is named Hellish City, and I'm going to change that to a more appropriate name, CowFace City. I like the sound of that. I'm also going to change, if I find where it is. Right, I will change it. I'm talking about the currency. So it is currently set as credits, but I want to customize that myself as well. And yeah, can't quite remember where it is, so I'm going to figure that out, and once I do, we will have maybe something like cow coins or something like that. I'll figure that bit out. Anyway, here is our starting city with a measly 100 population. We're going to have to try and stimulate the growth of this city over the next 100 years and grow it as much as we can. So if you want to help the city grow, you can build their roads for them, which we're going to be doing. I'm excited to get going. I've got some ideas. I want to incorporate some train systems into our city. We will make a bit of a road extension in the city, and we will get some buses running. That's going to stimulate the growth of the city straight off the bat. But once we've done that, we're going to need to find an industry that's going to really be bringing in our money, because we're not going to be making that much money from moving people alone. So the logical place to do an industry is this coal mine over here. Yeah, and we got to take it to this power station all the way over here. It's a long line. So I'm going to get the buses running. You have to have the game unpause to be able to start putting down any of your industries. So I'm going to unpause that. I'm going to extend the road out. I'm just going to give it some roads to... Ooh. I don't want to do that. A bit of road there, a little bit of road there, and then a little bit of road here as well. And maybe we'll come one more over as well. Now, obviously it looks like it's starting off in a bit of a grid formation, but I want it to be a bit more organic, and we just put roads in and expand the road systems a bit more ad hoc. I'm not going to go crazy doing worldwide road network just yet. There's enough road there to expand out onto, I'd say. In fact, I'm just going to give it a few more. I think this would just be a good starting amount for us. And then we're going to get a bus station, and I'm just going to get them to go round in a circle for me. That'll work just nicely for me. We need to put a bus depot down as well. We're going to pop a bus depot, or road vehicle depot, sorry. And then I think we'll just buy ourselves a nice MPS Regal bus. We're going to go one city, one stop, and then the other stop. And we're not going to give it any commands like full load, which you'd have to click on that stop and then tell it to full load or anything, because it's going to take some time for it to be able to do that. And then I think I want a couple of these buses running. So if you click on clone vehicle as well, and then just click on the bus that's already running, it will already have the commands of the other bus. So I will get that running. I'm going to get to skip to the next stop so it goes in the other direction. And we're just going to let them do their thing for a while, and that should start to stimulate the growth of the city while we go and concentrate on making some money through industry. I'm actually going to start at the power station end, so that once I've built the station at the coal mine, I can get trains in there as quick as possible, and it can start collecting, and it should help the delivery of the coal instantly sort of be pretty good, because you need trains in there collecting coal for the coal mine to be putting the coal in the station nice and efficiently. And if you've had a station there without any trains, it's not a good start, not very efficient. Right, so I am going to get this track laid down, and we will speed this up so you can see what I've done. So just a little disclaimer here: I'm not the best at Transport Tycoon. I've enjoyed playing it since I was about 10 years old. I am that old if the game is that old, but it's an awesome game. And by the way, it is free as well. You can get it through Steam or direct from OpenTTD. And yeah, if you want to have a bit of fun building your own transport company, then this is the game for you. Obviously, there is aspects of the game that are a little bit dated, but it's still great fun. But I'm not a master like Master Hellish or a lot of other people out there. And signals is where I fall down, and I quite often get it the wrong way around. So if you see me fumbling about with the signals as we speed through this bit, yeah, it's because I'm not that good. But I'm going to give it a try. Right, so I've run out of money at this point. I don't want to borrow too much money. You can borrow money from the bank to keep on growing your company. But basically, I'll borrow enough money to get this route done. But I want to pay it back and use as little borrowing as possible. So I'll borrow an extra 100,000. You automatically start with 100,000 borrowed. But yeah, that is where I will leave it. Now, if you want to remove any track, you can select these individual directions if you want, but this multi-directional track means you can drag it in any direction and lay your track down. If you want to get rid of any track, you can hold Control and then just drag like you were laying it down. So we're going to get rid of this little bit of track because I don't need it. And then we're going to carry on, and yeah, I'm going to try and figure out these lights. Okay, another thing you're going to want to do especially for a track this length. So trains need depots like road vehicles to be built in, but also to go and be serviced in. And track this length, you're going to want to put it at random sort of intervals all the way down the track, so they've got opportunity to go in and get repaired. So I'm going to put 2 in at either side of the station, and then I'm going to put them down the track as we go. All right, so I'm going to put down the station at the other end, and I'm actually not just yet. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to make the train first so I can get that to leave as soon as possible. So I'm going to have a new vehicle. We're going to get the one train at this point, like I said. So it's the Kirby Pool Tank. And you can get 2 sections of the train into each sort of square on the map. And the station's 4 squares long. So that's going to be 8 sections of train. So one for the engine and 7 carts for the coal. And I've run out of money again, so I'm going to need to borrow a little bit more, so that's fine. We should be paying this back real quick. Okay, we are going to not go yet because we haven't got a station yet. So move that out of the way, get our stations, and supplies coal. So it's just in reach. You need to check that up here in accepts and supplies that you have got it in reach of what you're wanting to that you need. So supplies coal, so that is all fine for us. Now I'm hoping this works and I don't get embarrassed. Anyway, we're going to select this to get a full load, and then we're going to go all the way to the other end, and we don't need to do anything here. It will just know to unload its coal. So that is the first train down. Again, we will use the clone tool to get our next train up and running. Right, so it should load the one train, and then once it's loaded and left, it should start loading the next train. So we can tell this train to go. It's got the commands in already, so away he can go. Now, if you're watching this and screaming at the screen because I've done the signals wrong, I can only apologise. It's just something that I've never been able to get right. I'll learn it, I'll get it right, and then I won't play it for a while, and then it'll all be gone. So, you know. Right, so I'm going to leave them up. I will clone another train ready to go. We're probably going to end up with at least 6, maybe 7, 8 trains on this line. It's that long. By the time that they've gone, delivered, and heading back, there should be plenty of trains on the route. Right, so the city of CowFace hasn't grown. I'm just going to click on the name of the city and it'll give you a bit of information. So the town is not growing, and I don't quite know why. We did move some passengers. I don't know why it's not growing yet. It should be growing. Okay, we have one train on the way, so we can set our next train off. We can afford to clone another train, so we will do that. Right, that's train number 3 going into the station. All right, accepts passengers. It's got passengers. All right, these buses are being funny, and I don't quite know why. Accepts nothing, so that's our problem. The city has started to grow though. Okay, I'm just going to trust the process that as the city grows, they will want to accept passengers at the other station. So what I'm going to do for the moment is I'm going to get our road tools back down. And then, as you can see here, they're building a new football pitch because there's so many people in this. Only 35 people in the city, town or hamlet. I don't know what it would be. But yeah, we're going to get another couple of stations down and see if we can do anything else here. This time it might be a good idea to, when we select the in-road bus station, again, if you look at the accepts and supplies, we might be able to decide where best to put it. Right, supplies and accepts nothing, right. That will change in time. So I think I will put one here and I'll put one here, and now they seem very close together. Probably not the most efficient placement. However, the buses decided they were going to stop there. Anyway, All right. Well, we'll see how that works out. So I've got a bit of an idea. Train 1 is lost. Can you not get out that way for some reason? Not quite sure what he's doing here. See, this might be where my knowledge of the signals is breaking. Yeah. Again, not sure why the trains are doing this. And maybe I'll have to figure out a change in design as we go. But if this fixes them just for the moment, then that is great. Okay, so again, I don't know quite why this is happening. I think because he was crossing two lines, touching itself, I think he was causing himself to stop and not go. Maybe. It'll be like this one too. Alright. Alright, we're going to see if that works out. Okay, so I think there's a chance that they might do the same silly mistake on the return journey as well. However, hopefully that's fixed their route down, and if it's broken on the way up as well, I have to do this kind of ad hoc repair. So the city has grown up to 157. A little bit slow going, considering we're already two and a half years in. But it is growing, and yes, this stop does now accept passengers, so that is good. Now, what I have in mind is giving the city a bit of a train line. Now, trains will become a problem if the train lines are crossing roads, and road vehicles and trains don't mix very well, and you end up getting buses blown up while they're trying to cross your railway line. So what I want to do is give the city a bit of an underground. It's going to be a single track station. Too long. I will show you how I am hoping to do it. So I think I'll put one here. Need to make sure they're in line on each one. So it's basically they're going to be creating a circle, a square circle. I think for the first one, I think I'll just do one on each side for the moment. So one out here, one out here too. Now I know that they're not going to have any reach just yet, but they will eventually. All right. So if we get our landscaping tool, and then we're basically going to be digging the ground down at each side of the station. Okay. And we're going to get some tracks down on each side of the station. Okay, and then we'll just do a single light at each station going into the station. So I think we'll go clockwise around, and then just one entry light for each station so they don't crash into the back of each other. I'll have two trains, I think, running on this inside line, and I'm doing multiple lines to go further out in the city. So maybe we'll only end up with three, and obviously as we get bigger there'll be more stations on each line. So second one out, maybe there'll be two on each side. So we still need the landscaping tool. Right, this might not work out perfectly because it's a bit tight. So we'll need to go down there and down there. well, I'll show you what I'm doing here. So put a tunnel in here. Okay, so that's great. And then it's going to be up here. Up here, right. So we come out. Because we're going to need to be out of the ground to do corners, because you can't turn a corner in a tunnel. So, so this little bit here is a little bit irrelevant because it's too close. So I'm just going to need to undo the work that I've done. And we'll just lift this ground up again. And then over here, what will be, will be. That's just my mistake, really. Right, landscaping tool again. So we need to just try and make sure we line up here, and I think here. Right, and that should give us a tunnel entrance there and a tunnel entrance there. Okay, and then for the corners, we just got to come out here, turn a corner, and back down into the tunnel. Just like that. And then it's going to allow us to have this beautiful little underground train line running around the city, come out for the stations, come out for the corner, but in between all of that, we're going to be able to build city over the tunnels, which is going to be absolutely lovely. Right. Again, this was a bit close. It's going to make more sense on the outer, the next sort of line out, because we won't be so confined for space. But right, I think that made sense. Did it line up? It did line up. I think it's a bit of design genius, but I could be wrong. Let me know if you think it's absolutely stupid. But yeah, this is what I'm going for. Now, the city's not expanded enough to really be using these stations yet. We are going to need to put a depot in. I think I'll put 2, or maybe I'll put 1 in on each corner actually. Which again, is going to use up a bit of space, but it's all part of my design. It's my city. It's the city of CowFace, and this is my vision. It's a monstrosity, I know. All right, further down the game, you can get engines that are passenger compartments as well. So at that point, we'll be able to utilise every section of train to hold passengers as well. But for the moment, it's going to have to just be the Kirby, and I'm going to put 2 passenger ones in, and then a mail cart as well. And he won't have any orders to fill up because he just won't be able to. And then we just tell him to go to every stop around the line, and away he goes. I will get a second train. I think 2 trains for this inside line. Right, so thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Okay. I'm going to let him get around a little bit, and then I'll release the other train. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to fast forward through the game a little bit, which you can do through this button here. You can also hold down tab. Now there is a setting where you can adjust how fast it will speed through the game, which I'm going to try and just have a look at now, because if I can get it to go a bit faster, basically you're limited to how fast your computer can push it. So I'm going to pause the video recording, and then I'm going to see if I can make the fast forward even faster. All right, well, I had a look and I couldn't find and figure out how to change the speed of the fast forwarding. So it is what it is. I know it's in there somewhere. There's just so many settings and I just couldn't find it. So if you know, let me know in the comments below, and let everyone else know as well, because I can't. But anyway, I have managed to change the money to cow coins. As you can see down here, we have cow coins. So, without being able to change the speed of the fast forward, I'm going to fast forward in time a little bit and let the city grow. Alright guys, now we have fast forwarded a little bit into the future. We are 5 years from the start date, The city has only grown to 574, which worries me a little bit because it could end up being a very embarrassingly low population by the time we've done 100 years. But I don't know. I'll keep faith, and hopefully we will continue to see it grow. I will, however, come back in and just add a bit more to the road network as we come in. It's not all going to be perfect and symmetrical, so I will just add little bits in, I think. Alrighty, so I've expanded roads out a little bit. I'm just going to limit ourselves to this sort of area now. When we go beyond that, I want to get down the next layer of underground train line down before we expand onto it, because that kind of makes sense to me. Yep, we're not going to be there yet. What else I might do is I might do a second sort of circle of bus routes, which are just going to be every now and then. I think we try and figure out some sort of random bus route. You know what? I'll put one there. Put one around here, I think. We will end up with some near others, but it will work out in the end, I'm sure. Alright, I think that will do. Alright, so we'll get one bus, and we'll do the same as before. We'll just add the routes in. Around the place, and away we go. And we just clone this guy, I think maybe 4 times, and we just release him gradually into the world. And once we got them released, I think we're going to fast forward a little bit into the future again, maybe get to 1940, and that will be 10 years of our 100 played, and we will see how well we're doing at that point. So I think the trains are doing okay. If we just check everywhere, they're all doing what they're meant to be doing. Lovely jubbly. Right, okay. Check how much coal is at the station. Yeah, I think we're okay with the number of trains we got then. Okay, release that guy. And then we release that guy too. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that too. Alright, we've got plenty of vehicles that are not making money, but I think that's okay at this point. Overall, we are making money. We've got 1 million cow coins in the bank, so there's not really anything to worry about there, I don't think. I just realised I missed a light at this station, because we had to rejig it, I think. That's why I did that. Alright. Right, so they are all running, and yeah, we're going to fast forward and see how we do. Alright, so we are now on the cusp of 1940. There we go, just ticked over. And we are now at a population of 1,731. Now that doesn't seem like a lot considering we've already played 10 years in, but the acceleration in growth has started now, where the city is starting to utilize more of the transport around the city. I do think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more lights in on the other side of these stations, and the reason for that is I'm going to have 2 more trains, so we're going to have 4 trains for the 4 stations, and they will literally sit in the station until the next one ahead of them has got in the next station, and they should go round in unison a little bit. That's a theory anyway. Plenty of vehicles saying they're not making money, but that's to be expected. Eventually there'll be a point when there's so many people in the city at the bus stops that I can't transport them all. Now, theoretically, these guys should all be able to run in unison eventually. Another guy's going to get there. This guy once this guy's in the station. Here, wait there. Yeah, it's all kind of working okay. All right. Right, I'm going to fast forward another little bit and see maybe how far we get with another 5 years under our belt. Right, we are now in the year 1945. We have played 15 years since the start, and the city of CowFace is now at 6,137, and as you can see, it is growing into a nice little metropolis. But we have basically reached the limits of the city as we have it currently, and as you can see, they've just started to breach the outer limits of what we had provided for them. So we're going to need to expand this beyond where we are, and I'm going to start that with the next underground line. So I'm going to place the stations in place. Alright, and there we have it. We have our second underground train line ready. So I'm going to get some trains going. We've got plenty of money coming in now. We can now use a more up-to-date and faster train as well. So we'll go for the Chani Jubilee. And again, we'll just do the 2 passenger cars and the mail van as well. And we've got to select each and every one these stops. Now, I know a lot of these stations have got boring, generic station names as well, but I'm not going to go through and change them all. Not on your Nelly. Okay, and away he goes. Right, so we have 8 stops on this station, so maybe I will just do 4 trains at this point. And then once the city grows, then we will probably add some more in. Now, the next thing for us to do will be to expand the road network out beyond this train line as well, which we will do in just a sec. Oh, I went a bit wrong there. I'm going to bring this all back up flat. Now, I'm not going to go mad and flatten the whole world out. I don't think it's necessary, but I will just for the moment anyway. Okay, so we've expanded the train line, we have expanded the road systems. Now all we got to do is maybe jump forwards to 1950, I think is a nice round number, and see where we get to. Alright, we are at 1950 and we are around about, we've just been floating around the 10,000 population mark, which again is very, very low in reality. But as we clock through the years and we progress through time, that is going to start increasing more and more. If we just open up the city information here, so town grows every 9 days, which is pretty good growth at the moment. Can't really ask for much more than that, but we will continue to ask for a bit more than that. And yeah, we are currently moving 802 passengers out of a possible 1,447, and mail is 297 out of a possible 746. These are numbers as city grows, it's always going to be increasing. You're always going to be chasing that number, but you want to keep pushing it as high up as we possibly can, which we will continue to do. I think at this point it'd probably be worthwhile adding the extra 4 trains to the outside line, which we will do. And we're just telling them all to go. I'm sure it'll all work out absolutely fine in the end. And then, much like the inside line, which is now just a part of the city, they should just all work in unison. So there is scope for possibly doing another circuit of bus stations around this outer edge. And as you can see, the city has started to utilise up to the boundary and just past it again. But I think we're going to give it another 5 years with the 8 trains and just see where we get to. Well, as you can see, the city has grown quite nicely and it's really starting to fill out now. We're currently at a population of 22,890. It's changing all the time. It's grown every 5 days at this point. But as you can see, it is utilising pretty much all the space we have given it so far. So the next thing to do would be layer number 3 of our underground train line, which we will do I will do in a sec. But it is time to start expanding the infrastructure of the city once again. Now I'm just going to do another loop of road around the city, just 2 out. And I'm not going to worry about too many connections in between. And it should just nicely fill up in between the 2 roads here. We will make little connections where we can. We're mainly going to be relying on the train infrastructure on the outer parts of the city. I don't think we're going to be doing too many more bus routes. I may do. So don't hold me to that. And I was just thinking about possibility of putting airports in as well. Now usually you just have one airport in a city generally. But there is scope if we continue to grow the city at a rate that maybe we can go from one corner to another corner if we successfully manage to keep on growing the city at a good enough rate. But that is what we're going to do right now. I might try and so there's some void sort of spaces inside the city. I may try and utilize these a little bit more because there are some void spaces that aren't being used. Precise planning, you'll be able to utilize every single nook and cranny, each square. But I wasn't too worried about that at this point. But right, the next bit is going to be doing our 3rd layer of underground rail network. So I'm going to get that down, and then we will continue trying to expand the city even more. Right, so we have the 3rd ring of underground stations in place and the whole line complete, I think. Yeah, we've got a whole host of trains that are available to us now, but the newest ones, their reliability is always a bit naff. So I think I'm just going to go with the Canny Jubilee still, 88% reliability and twice the speed as the Kirby as well. So, well, nearly twice the speed anyway. So yeah, one of those, and again we will just go for the 2 passenger cars and 1 mail. And I do need to still do the lights, I just remembered. Otherwise we'll end up with all sorts of train crashes around the place. Right, I'll quickly do the lights. Okay, and that should be everything in place, and we can send him on his way. Obviously, we're going to need to clone this train a good few times. So we'll clone. 12 stations, so we could go for 12, but I think we'll just go with half that number again like we did with the second line. So we'll go for 6. So that's 4, 5 and 6. Okay, And then once I've got all these trains on the go, I think we will zoom forward to about 1960, and then I might just do a little bit more road expansion in between these cities over the tunnels, and then we will fast forward and see where we can get to. Right, okay, so I think that is enough for the moment. So we are going to let the growth commence and zoom forward to about 1960. Alright guys, right, we are now in 1960. We are 30 years into the challenge, and we are now up to a population of 38,000. And yeah, the city is starting to expand out into these corners quite nicely on all the corners. For some reason missing out on these middle bits. Maybe it's because of the lack of roads in between in some areas. We will see. It will eventually get there, but I think what I will do, I'm going to just put another sort of loop of buses in every so often, just to fill in the gaps in between stations a little bit. And obviously we're going to need some depots again around the place. Okay, that should be all of them, and we will clone that bus, and then I think we'll clone just I think maybe we could go with probably up to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just start sending them on their way. Right, we are currently at 40,000-ish, and the city is growing every 3 days currently. So I am going to let things happen as they are with the new buses and the 3 layers of train networks all doing their bit. So we're going to fast forward to 1965 and see where we get to. So some of our vehicles are starting to get a little bit old now. Looking at our trains here, all the ones in red, they are all a bit old and need replacing. So we can replace them with something a bit faster and a bit more efficient now. So there is a way to auto-renew these trains. How to do it, I will. I think I'm going to have to manually go through it or figure out how to do it, but I'll manually go through it anyway. So I will whiz through this bit for us. So I know there's obviously a auto renew way of doing it. There is a way of doing it, but you can literally just remove the engine part, and then you can buy a new one and select the one you want. We have a whole host of diesel trains available to us now as well, so I think we'll go for that. But yeah, if you buy that, and then which one is he? Number 2, and he will still have his orders, so you can send him on his way now. Much more efficient train, faster. Anyway, so with the inner city trains, we now have the other double-ended trains that carry passengers as well. So that is what I will do. I'll buy that. And just get rid of one of these passenger cars. So he should be able to go on his way now. Put him at front of the camp. He should work just fine. Right, just check, make sure all the trains are replaced. And yeah, I probably will go in and just change all the other inner city trains to the double-ended passenger trains, and just check the buses as well, because I'm sure some of them must be getting old soon. So 8 years old out of 12 years, right? So they're right for a few years yet. So I'll swap all these guys out. Yeah, I might actually wait until they get old, and then I'll just do them bit by bit. Right, so back to the city, and we are getting through to 1965. Alright, it is now 1965, and we are nearly heading towards the halfway point of this challenge, and the city is now up to 66,000. It's still a long way from where we want it, so we definitely have some more expansion to go. I do feel like at this point I will utilise some airports, and we'll put another train line in as well, and obviously expand the road systems as well. So I'm going to get on with that. Alright, so as you can see, it kind of went a bit skew-whiff in places, so we had to just get it connected, play it by ear. But that's all fine. I think by this point we're growing the city well enough, and before long we'll be at 100,000. But I'm wanting to get way beyond that if possible. But we will see, obviously. Right, so we need to put some depots in and then expand the road network around there, and then we'll get some trains going. Alright, so we have our first train out on our newest underground circular line, and now we've just got to clone that a hell of a lot more times now. So I think maybe we'll go with 8 on this one. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then, yeah, I think we might expand some of the trains, the number of trains on the inner lines. Not on the inner line, 4 I think will always be enough for that. There's only 4 stations, so we really don't want more than that. But on the next line out, I can't remember how many we have there. It's all getting a bit of a blur. The city's getting so big. But we're going to get this train on the go. These trains on the go. And check that. I think it must just have been on this next line out. I think we could have put another 6 trains in to fill it right up, which I think we might do. So, in fact, I won't do that yet because we've got to change those trains, which we will do. Right, so for the moment, I think what we will do is we will just get through to 1970. So here we go. All right, 1970, groovy, baby. I did realise that I didn't do the road expansion over here, so there's a distinct lack of expansion out in this area. So we're just going to need to sort that out for sure. Get some roads in here, get some roads in there. Well, we are at 86,000 population now. Definitely not quite grown as much as I would have hoped. There's definitely some nice corner expansion out here around one of the airports. Not so much out here yet, but I'm sure that we will get there if we give it another sort of 5 years. But I'm just going to quickly check the trains to see if we've got any more trains that are getting old, and we do. Right, so 11 and 12 are now getting old, so we will depot them and get them switched up. And check the road vehicles are still alright at the moment. So, I actually see, can't see anymore. Alright, there we go. Chuck that in the bin. Get the double-ended train engine in place. Get rid of one of the passenger carriages, and away we go. And the same with you as well. Here we go. Right, so we will zoom off into the future once again. At which point we will have some more old trains and probably some older road vehicles by that point as well. But we need to progress. So 1975, here we come. Alright, well, I stopped short from 1975 just because I think I've definitely made a mistake here, not having these connections in between sort of in these areas. So I am going to blow some stuff up and get the roads connected every now and then. I'm sure the city won't mind me blowing a few houses up. If not, if I really upset them, I will plant some trees and they'll love me again. So it's all good. Just hopefully the families got out before the demolition started. But this should hopefully branch the connection from the inner city to the outer a bit better, because at the moment it's just not quite working very well, and we need that expansion. I mean, that's struggling to get to 100,000 at this point. I really would have hoped to have got there. I would have loved a goal of at least getting to about 250,000, but at the moment I'm not 100% that I'm going to get there. But we will carry on trying. Right. Keep on making some of these connections where I can. Okay, we will head for 1975 again. Alright, here we are, 1975. We have managed to break the 100,000 mark. We are now at 109,000, which is really good. Right, so we are now 45 years in, near on the cusp of halfway through the 100 years. I'm going to do a lot of road expansion now. At this point, I feel like that is probably the main thing we're going to need to get this city growing more and more and more. So lots and lots and lots and lots of roads. Right, we've expanded the road network quite a little bit, so we're going to zoom into the future again to the halfway point, 1980, nearly getting to the year I was born. So here we go. All right, got some more trains to replace, so quickly going to do that. Alright guys, right, we are at 1980, which means we are at the halfway point of this challenge, and we are starting to get the real funky skyscraper buildings or apartment blocks, what have you, in our city now, in the city of CowFace, which has now reached over 150,000, so it is progressing well. There is expansion to be done. While we were zipping through time, I did think I wouldn't mind doing some water transportation along these water edges. Now I know other people would have just filled in these waterways, but you know, this is my city of CowFace, and I also want it to be my city, as well as just trying to grow it as big as I can. And already I've grown it bigger than any city I've seen before, so I'm happy with what we've done. It's definitely a mega city, not quite Master Hellish's mega city sort of size, but it is still impressive nonetheless. Before I did waterways though, let me just double check the trains and see if we've got any aging trains that need replacing yet, and we're okay for trains, but I do know that some of our road vehicles are starting to get old, so right. Yeah, still don't know how to do it. No, I don't want to do that. Cancel. That's not it. Replace vehicles. Maybe this would just do it to all vehicles. Yeah, start replacing vehicles. At least there will be new buses and they will have a fresh lease of life as well. So we'll start that. I think that should do it. Yes, so it has started. All right, so the replacement is underway. 2 replaced already. We could theoretically do the same with some of our other trains, but we need to manually remove one of the passenger cars as well, so that's not really ideal, is it? We'll just wait until those guys get old. So let's talk waterways. Right, well, I'm going to need a bit of a hill, aren't I? So how do I do this? How do I want to do this? I could do that, I guess. That'll give us a dock. I could just create out of nothing, I guess. You know what? I could just do it from the other side, and there will be reach. So that will do. That will do absolutely fine. Okay, and then we would want another one. I'm not sure if the boat can even go navigate down these. That is how inexperienced I am at Transport Tycoon, but still love it nonetheless. Right, we're going to need a ship depot. Pop it out here. It's a bit of a monstrosity, so okay. And we're going to get a ferry. The newer ferry, I guess. Or the hovercraft. Yeah, the hovercraft's so much cooler, isn't it? Okay, hovercraft it is. And you're gonna go here, here, and they're just gonna go back and forth all the way. Send him on his way, his merry little way. We will clone once, I think. Just 2 of them going back and forth, I think will be absolutely fine. Wait until he gets a bit of a distance away. Okay, I may do another one like this down here, though it's a bit tighter down here. And ships do have a habit of being able to get caught up sometimes, or lost, or just completely useless altogether. So, right, we are at the halfway mark. We are at 160,000 pretty much. The city is growing every 2 days. Right, there is scope for more to be done. We've still got 50 years to see how much this city can actually grow. But I'm going to have to call that time for today, and I'm going to have to return to finish the recording tomorrow, as I've got little munchkins that I have to feed. So, don't know why they can't fend for themselves by now, but I digress. Yeah, we will continue and yeah, see how much we can grow in the city over the next 50 years and see exactly where we end up. Well, we are back on another day, so let's carry on. We've got another 50 years to try and grow this city much more than it has already. 161,000 size is pitiful. We want to be well beyond there, so we've got 50 years to try and do more. So let's unpause the game and let's carry on. It is going to naturally grow and continue to grow anyway, but we've got to figure out what more can we do. So we finished up adding the hovercraft ferries along the waterway over here, but I feel like we need to provide some transport around this outer edge and try and encourage more growth out there. So what do we want to do? Do we want to just stick to trains, planes, automobiles? Yeah, I don't know. Is it trains? I've not really allowed myself the space to do another underground route out here, so I think just probably for the growth of the city, I think we're just going to go with buses in these outer areas, and that's not the one I wanted. I want the actual, build stuff. There we go. Right. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let's get a depot down. I think I'm going to do individual little routes with a couple of buses. Try and keep it simple. We've got so much going on here, really. We need to try and protect my poor little brain. Right, so they're also going to be in road bus stops. And yeah, I think we'll do small little loops is what we will do. I think that's a grand idea. Do I want to do that really? Not really. Let's do this. Do this. And then we'll put another one coming back. Yep, somewhere around here would be grand. And then another one around here. Okay, and then I think so we do small little loops like this all the way along. They don't all need to necessarily have the same amount of stations, just to fill the area and encourage that growth that we want so badly. So we'll just buy the one as usual. We can just buy one, set the roots up, and then we can copy that, and everything will be grand. Make sure we get all the good stations, bus stops rather. Okay, don't need any commands, just need to start going and stimulate that growth. Right, so I think maybe we just do 4. Yeah, I think 4 will do. Let's send 1 on its way. Yeah, and then we're going to do another one sort of in this little area here, and then we'll do this corner area, and it's just going to work out absolutely beautifully. Get rid of that. Okay, bus stops. And we need to get a bit of extra road in here, otherwise it's going to be a bit awkward. Right, bus stops. We're going to get one about here, one about here, one about there, here, and here, and then here. I think would be good. Or right here. There we go. That'll do absolutely fine. Let's get these other buses on the road as well. Forgot about them. Right. Did I do more? How many buses did I make? I'm not entirely sure. I think I ended up making 5, didn't I? Right, okay. 1 more than I intended, but hey, it will do. Let's send the next one on his way. Get another bus. In here. Right, let's give you some orders too. Right, here. To here. To here. There. To there. And there and back round again. Right, you go. You also go. Okay. Right, we need to clone this guy. Send him on his way. Let's clone another one. And I'm trying to stick to the 4 this time. Right, let's send another guy. Right, so that's basically what I'm going to do for the rest of the outer boroughs or areas. So I won't sit you through the entirety of it. We'll speed through that, get all the infrastructure in place, and then we will fast forward the game some years and see how the growth is doing. So let's fast forward. All right, well, I had a lot of fun doing those little bus routes in the outer areas, kind of like what you probably find in real life. But yeah, that should promote a fair bit of extra growth around the outskirts of the city. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just expand out the road system a little bit beyond that point as well, so we can encourage growth in what's there already and then beyond it as well. So we will speed through that, and then once I've done with the road expansion, then we will fast forward in time and see how far this city can grow. All right, so I think I've done enough road expansion for the time being, at least. We are now currently in, what year are we in? We are in 1983. Right, so we're going to fast forward into the future, and I think we are going to allow everything to just carry on. I might have to stop and replace any old vehicles or whatnot, but I think we're going to fast forward all the way to the year 2000. So I will see you in the year 2000. Well, I went whizzing past the year 2000, and we are currently in the year 2005, which means we've got 25 years of growth left, if I do my maths right. Yeah, I think that is it. So we are 3/4 of the way through. As you could possibly see, just as we were fast forwarding through time, I was just kept on expanding the road systems where we'd kind of reached that outer limit. And yeah, so the city size is currently at 380 odd thousand. I definitely would like to hit that 500,000 mark. It's still insane to think that Master Hellish reached some crazy amount of like 1.5 million, and even he thought he could have done better, which is just insane. But I think I might be in the ballpark area of how PotatoMcWhiskey did, and probably my design scheme and way of doing it, without being so clinical, is probably closer to akin to PotatoMcWhiskey as well. But it is one hell of a city. Definitely, I mean, there's definitely room for more growth, but we've got 25 years left. I'm going to continue to just expand roads where the buildings are starting to reach the outer limits, and just see where we can take it in the next 25 years. Right, I'm going to have some more trains to replace. Everything's getting old. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and then we will fast forward again. Okay, it's officially there. We have covered 100 years, in-game years, on Transport Tycoon, or Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. And we have tried to grow the city as large as we can, whilst putting in, you know, a few little CowFace touches along the way. Our underground system. And, you know, there's plenty of things that a lot of people would have taken out, like the waterways and the hills, if they were really taking its challenge seriously. I just wanted to take part. I wanted to give it a good go, and I managed to crack the 500,000 mark. So we finished on 515,227, which I think is a very commendable size city. Certainly not a size I've ever seen before in the many years that I've played it. So it was really interesting trying to give this challenge a go, and I openly invite you to give it a go too if you've enjoyed it, and are interested to see how you can grow. Maybe you have your own take on how you'd go about it too. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, maybe I'll come back and give it another go at some point, and maybe take it a little bit more seriously and refine how I would go about it. But this is the city of CowFace, and I am very proud of it indeed. It's certainly somewhere that I would love to live. But yeah, that is us done for the challenge, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as I've enjoyed doing it as well. You know, if you've enjoyed the content, please leave us a like and give us a shout in the comments as well. And like I said, I openly invite you to give this a go yourselves as well. Remember, it's a free game. You can use the link in the description. I'll put it below to download the game for free, or you can get it on Steam as well. So yeah, definitely give it a go. And yeah, that is us done for today. So I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one. See ya.